Hi, it's Joe for GAK, and I'm here again with Boss Guru Matt Knight, and today we're not talking about Boss effects, we're talking about
Boss amplifiers.
Boss amplification.
Yes.
More importantly, the smallest Boss amplifier I think I've seen in a while. Well, there were some other things. You had there was a jazz chorus. It was a tiny jazz chorus.
Yep. There was an old MG10 in the early 90s, I believe. But Boss branded amplification is a new thing for us. Obviously launched with the Katana range last year, and now we come round to the Katana Mini.
Because the Katana range itself has got a load of things in it. Where does it start? It's like 20?
50, 100, 212, and Katana head.
Right, cool. And so this is the smallest one. So you haven't gone for like a traditional practice amp size, you've gone for something smaller.
No, I mean, I think the thing is, for people who don't know, Katana 50 and the Katana range, being a Class AB amp rather than a Class D, like most digital amplifiers, means that the power options you've got on board are really nice and versatile. So winding back the power, it responds like a real power amp. So I don't think they necessarily need to do something smaller, because the 50 offers you great sounds at lower volumes and gigable 50-watt volumes as well.
That's actually kind of the thing with the whole Katana series. It sort of transcended that normal. Everything's very separated in the normal market. We have practice amps and then we have gigable amps, and they do not cross over.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they do sometimes, but they don't sound good.
I think the idea behind that range is they didn't want to pigeonhole it into one particular style. With the Katana Mini, it's moved into a kind of small amp that's sort of bedroom, green room, great practice amp, great for taking out and about, nice small sound that's just nice and portable, and a real focus on good, simple, easy to use guitar tones.
Yeah, cool. And runs off of a 9-volt power supply.
Yep, 9-volt power, battery operated as well, auxiliary in, and cabinet emulated line out and headphones as well, which is really nice.
Sweet. So there's more features than I'm used to seeing on the top of something that looks like a kitchen radio.
Well, I think the thing is I've shown it to a lot of people, and kind of what shocks people at first is actually the size. People either expect, a lot of mini amps are either really, really diddy, or they're expecting maybe a slightly bigger practice amp. And Boss have, as with all their products, really go to town on the design, the tuning, the overall sound, and every component that goes into the unit. So the speaker itself is custom designed to match the output of the amplifier. Cool. You've got a digital delay that's like analog tuned. It's like an analog style voice. But what's actually great is that the gain stages are all analog.
Right. Okay.
So the drives have all been tuned, but they're not digital models, they are analog drive circuits.
Okay, cool. And there's not just like a clean and a drive, it goes further than that.
Yeah, so you've got clean, crunch and brown, which is the brown sound inherited from the kind of the Wilder series. But each one kind of picks up where the last one left off,
right.
And everything is really, unlike a lot of amps on the market that are maybe this sort of size or even bigger, it's really dynamically responsive to the volume on your guitar, how you play, what pickups you've got, and handles low tunings really, really well. Okay. So, I mean, that's a lot of times when you get a tiny speaker, people, to a couple of people, and the first thing they did was run it through a baritone. They're like, oh, I'm sure, because a lot of times when people see these new products, they're like, okay, well, what can I do to break it, or, or how can I push it to the limits? And it was like perfectly handled, like all the low tunings as well. So even if you're kind of like a gent guy, it's a perfect little practice amp for that as well.
Cool, awesome. So should we have a bit of a butcher's at some of the things this amp does?
Yes.
Because I guess we've got the 3 drive settings, and then we've got a few effects that we can throw on it as well.
So you've got gain and volume with your type control. So as I said, clean, crunch and brown. Classic 3 stack tone control, bass, middle and treble. And then you've got time and level for your delay sound as well.
Swag.
Some people are like, oh, well, it doesn't have reverb, but actually the delay itself, if we go to a clean sound, kind of keeping the delay kind of short. So you can kind of really start to fill out the sound.
Great, yeah, sounds great and stays clean. We're actually, I guess we're a little over halfway on the overall volume of the amp, and the clean headroom is still there. Yeah. I mean,
and even if you sort of crank it all the way, you know, and I go to the humbucker. Add a bit more of that kind of big rock delay sound. So using the volume control a lot there to sort of define how much gain you get, and it really does adjust the amp like you would expect on a much bigger piece of equipment.
Cool. Okay, let's listen to some drive sounds.
So we'll go to the crunch. We'll open up the volume a bit more. So you can really feel like the range there. So I think it's important, you know, especially for a practice amp, to get that natural feel of an amplifier.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's nice playing with a sound that's kind of just like loads of gain or something like that, but sometimes you miss having that kind of real responsiveness.
Sure, and that is something that practice amps tend to be. They tend to be, because they're relying more on digital effects. It tends to be a case that they're all or nothing. That's kind of where analog separates itself kind of across the board, is that you can get those subtleties that you can't normally with a digital effect.
And having the triples, the classic tone stack on that means that you can really tune it to your guitar. So, you know, obviously you've got bass. So there's tons of range in there to EQ it exactly how you want for your instrument as well, which is really nice. You know, you might find that you're maybe plugging a bigger body guitar with humbuckers in, it's too bassy, and you can dial in some more treble. And you know, Boss have meticulously tuned each part to make sure that, you know, you're always going to get an optimum sound.
Sure. To be honest, just nice to have a 3-band EQ on a tiny amplifier.
Yeah.
Should we listen to the brown sound?
Yeah.
'Cause I think that's what this is all about, really.
Yeah. So obviously, tons of.
All right. There aren't many very tiny portable practice amps that can do that. And that's kind of the thing. I like that Boss haven't tried to cram too much onto this, but also they haven't left loads off, as you normally get when you're looking at sort of tiny little.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's not a toy. You know, it's a real serious amplifier that's tuned to be like a real amp. It's just in a tiny box.
Yeah.
And most people, like I said, most people are really shocked by the size, but then after a few minutes, you're kind of like, oh, right, I totally get it. And you just forget that you're playing through an amp that's so small.
Yeah, amazing. And kind of incredibly affordable. I think I think the solution for any guitarist who, as you say, for green rooms, for sort of bedrooms, you know, if you want something to carry around with you as it runs on batteries and everything, it's a perfect solution and a great new addition to the Katana series.
Yes.
So thanks very much, Matt, for coming in.
No problem.
And we'll see you again soon. Cheers, guys.
Bye.